I pay for this, whatever. Welcome back, everybody, to another edition of the Whiskey Gingers podcast. I'm Brandon, stepping in today for Chris. We got Jeff. And even though it is the end of March, it is far too cold to record this outside. So we are, for the first time, I think, ever coming to you live from my dining room. Generally, the indoor pods are at Chris's because he's set up a little bit better for this. But we're making it work with what we got. It is St. Paddy's Day after all, so we couldn't in good conscience let ourselves not do a St. Paddy's pod. So we are doing that now. Let's see if I can add this. Yes. All right, cool. There we go. Now we're live. So we have the Whiskey Gingers edition, Jameson Distillery edition for today. This is from my second trip back to Ireland. And at that point, we had just started the pod. I thought, you know what a better way to spend over $100 than to stick it on a sticker on the front of a Jameson bottle. So that is what we did. And I think we've had it before on the show. It's been a little while, so I'm looking forward to trying it again. You've been as well. Do you remember, is Jameson Distillery Edition any different from Jameson, or is it just the sticker?
It's a different batch.
Okay.
Yeah, so you can only buy it at both of their locations, from what I understand.
Yeah.
Because I looked in duty free because I was curious. Like, did they get me? Did I get screwed over?
Yeah.
You can't find it outside of the actual distillery.
Okay, so that's good to know. A distillery edition has been bottled exclusively for Bow Street, Dublin, and I guess since this came out, they added here it is for Cork as well.
So that's the two locations that you can get it. Now, how much better or worse it is since you can only get it there, that I don't know.
Yeah, and you'd have to do them side by side to find out. And I'm just fine focusing on this one for today. So let me pop this open for the second time. We usually unbox these on the show, but that's a problem.
Oh,
that's a real fucking problem.
Do you have a pin?
I can a pin
Or something to like stab it?
I got a knife.
Try a knife.
I mean,
It's gonna poke it in.
that's my worry, but I don't have anything smaller. I got a wine opener. We can.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
I should have suggested that in the beginning. I do remember this being a good glass of whiskey, though. I also like their Black Barrel a lot. More so than their Jameson. I very rarely reach for just Jameson.
Yeah.
Not that I don't like
That
it.
feels like, I mean, it's not a bad whiskey. I just had some on Saturday, but it does feel like a little bit of a starter whiskey.
Yeah.
All right, don't fuck me on this.
Is this the first time that we've had to do this on the podcast? All right.
Believe it or not, this is the first cork that we've sent into the bottle.
Or sometimes when you try to pop it with a cork, it's probably not as new.
Come on now.
Yeah, there we go.
There she goes.
It's like you've done it a million times.
Well, unfortunately, this is actually, maybe I'll be able to cap that enough.
I don't think I can finish this all right now.
Yeah. This is going to be a 2-hour podcast now.
Tune in for the last half hour.
We're talking absolute nonsense. There you are. I think I might have enough cork left to still. I have a decanter in there. That'll work.
And then just save the bottom.
That's yeah.
All right, maybe you're getting rid of it tonight.
You tried to match me with the ice.
It kind of just came out. This glass is huge.
It's also wide as hell.
Glass.
Yeah, it's
Well, it is St. Paddy's Day, so make it work.
It is. Oh, in honor of St. Paddy's Day, Slancha.
Cheers.
That is different than regular Jameson.
It is a little smoother. I like it.
Yeah. It's a little bit stronger too. Sometimes the other Jameson just tastes like syrupy.
Yeah, it kind of does. And I feel like the big part of that is it's the drink you've had a million times.
Yeah.
That like anything slightly variant of that tastes a little different.
Yeah.
I like it though. Better than I thought I would.
Yeah, because you're generally not an Irish whiskey guy.
I like Irish whiskey, but I also like darker bourbon-y flavors.
Yeah.
Caramels, vanillas. But no, I love
today. There was only one option.
Yeah.
It was St. Paddy's Day, so we had to do it. And we had a couple of let's drink about it to get into today, but probably the easiest one to start off with, given the time frame, is what we're both around the same age. I won't do it to you. But once you're past, college and then the immediate like 3 to 4 years to follow. What do you like? If you could draw up your perfect St. Patty's Day, what does that now look like?
Oh gosh, that's a great question. I guess I could go a couple different ways. Can I be in Ireland for St. Patty's Day? No.
We're gonna get to that.
I'm just kidding.
We'll get there.
What I like to do is I don't like being out super late anymore, so I like to have a couple drinks. It's a little different, isn't it?
I've never had Guinness out of a bottle.
Yeah, that's the other thing too.
Are you supposed to pour this out?
Probably.
I guess.
I
think
didn't
so.
have a glass, so
Yeah, there's no little nitro ball.
I went and got Guinness earlier, and all they had was Guinness Extra Stout. I didn't even notice it. They were the only ones cold. Clearly, I got there later than everybody else. It's just a little different.
It doesn't taste bad. It hit me where I've never had a bottle of Guinness.
It has a more, well, that's probably the problem too, but it has more of a stout flavor.
Yeah,
than
it's less creamy and all.
Yeah, for sure, which took me a little bit by surprise. But my ideal St. Patty's Day, I have been really enjoying Smittix. So we have a fun Irish pub by us, having probably a couple there and then going home.
Yeah.
So what I did this weekend to celebrate was I had a couple Smittix and 1 or 2 Guinness, and then I made homemade beef stew and mashed potatoes.
Oh, nice.
That was fun.
Yeah.
That was good.
That's real classic.
Irish soda bread. I didn't want to do the corned beef and cabbage.
Yes.
I've done it the last couple of years, and I'm like, I haven't done a stew in a while.
Yeah.
So
Plus, you're in an apartment too, so like that's gonna smell like corned beef and cabbage for the rest of that day.
Shad's already complaining about how much stew there is, but I got a really nice kind of like beef and chuck roast.
Yeah,
So.
I think stew smells good though. That's the difference. Corned beef and cabbage, no matter how much you love it, it's gonna stink up your house.
Shad's worried about having stew for 4 days in a row. I mean,
It's gonna be a lot of stew.
Yeah.
You could have brought some.
I have some in my work for the show. Probably gonna have it for dinner tomorrow. I needed a day off. I've had it the last like.
I can imagine.
Yeah.
It stays for the week, but
Yeah.
yeah, that's kind of where It's not what I did this year. We ended up going to a house party with a friend. Had a blast doing that. So I'm still glad that we went. But I think if I could draw, someone asked me like, "Hey, you can do anything on this St. Patty's Day?" I would love to find, and it's impossible, like a not crowded Irish bar. I would like, full but not crowded.
Yeah.
Like I would like to pull up a bar stool, just have Guinness after Guinness brought to me, and just kind of chit chat with the bartender, the other, St. Patty's Day patrons.
Yeah.
Like that's to me what feels like I'm celebrating an Irish holiday.
Right.
We've been to enough Irish bars where very rarely, unless they're like this super tourist bars, like the one that everybody goes to, Temple Bar.
Oh, in Ireland, yeah.
Yeah, like those, it's packed. It's a line at the bar. It's real loud music. By and large, though, like Irish pubs are very like warm, homey, social, but like talking social, not like trying to hook up with people social.
My last night on my most recent trip to Ireland, about 6 months ago, it was last night there. We're like, I don't know, we just had a really nice steak dinner.
Yeah.
Like, we could go back to the hotel or we could go out for like another 2 or 3 drinks.
Yeah.
Put a nightcap on the whole trip. So we do that. And where our hotel was the last night was kind of off the beaten path a little bit. So we end up going to this, like, it was a Friday night in Dublin. It was like a local Irish bar. And it was
That's what you want.
so much fun. I mean,
They're the most
it's
fun.
not like a temple bar. It was like
No.
dirty and
Yeah.
like we had old guys sitting at the bar, like looking at us, like you stupid Americans splitting the G. And then the one guy like tried to split the G. It was really fun.
Yeah.
We had a really good time. They had live music going. It was cool. So
Yeah, that's if I could find that here, that to me would feel like I was celebrating St. Patty's. Like you're from this area, I live around the corner. Like there's a great, very popular Irish bar that I could walk to, but Friday, Saturday, and then today it was a $25 cover to get in, and you're six or so deep at the bar trying to get beers.
yeah,
That doesn't feel like St. Patty's Day.
it feels like a scam.
It does. Yeah, it feels like
Monopolizing it.
it feels like New Year's. It feels like
Monetizing.
some other like I don't know. It feels like a different holiday because I know like the Irish don't drink that way, so it's like this just feels like an excuse to get drunk.
Well, it's funny because last year what I did for St. Patty's Day was I went to Conshohocken and they closed the whole street down and they have all the townships. Like even Phoenixville probably goes to Conshohocken.
Probably.
I know Limerick does. Like all the local towns go to the one place. They have a huge parade. That's different though, because that's like not really the bar scene as much.
Mhm.
It's all outside.
That's
they have
kinda
like
cool.
a couple outside vendors selling Guinness. Like they have kegs going.
Yeah.
That was cool. That was different. You just hope the weather is not freezing.
Yeah, and I'll say like what was it, probably 3 years ago now, we did Boston for St. Patty's, which you would think would be absolutely like bananas. You can't get in anywhere, packed out the whole nine. It was Boston to me was more like Ireland St. Patty's than like the Philly area St. Patty's. Like
I think it depends where you go. How long ago did you go?
probably 3 years.
Okay. Yeah.
But I mean, we were in like the Faneuil Hall area. We were in like the bar district, and the bars were crowded, but I could walk right up, get a beer. There was live music playing, but it was like live playing, like classic rock covers everybody knew. Like it was a very different feel than like one of the bars in town here had like a DJ. It's like that's not Irish. I want to hear some like Irish music. I want to hear a song about like some fisherman who can't pay his rent or something.
Malloy and I went to Boston 2018.
Oh wow!
St. Patty's Day. It's crazy to say that. That was 8 years ago already. That was fun, and I would agree with that. Right? It was more like controlled pub scenes. Like we were in pubs the whole time. Yeah. And it felt like what you said. We had the opportunity to sit at the bar top, or you were kind of shoulder to shoulder with people, but you weren't 6 people back. Like it was crowded, but it was manageable. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was a fun time. Boston's great.
Boston's an awesome city.
Yeah.
This year for St. Patty's, we ended up just going to a house party, which was kind of great because you don't have to pay the $25 for the cover, the $100 in drinks. It's all the people you wanted to talk to anyway. And it worked out nice for me because during the day, I don't know if how often you get to Baltimore, but I was down in Fells Point in Baltimore, which is a very like pub friendly area. So we just kind of hopped around. It was like 60 degrees, sat outside at some bars, had a couple Guinness that way.
Yeah, that's fun.
Yeah.
I've been in Baltimore in years.
There's really not much there.
I know. Like the pier's fun and stuff.
Fells Point is the most fun part of town. Okay. Like it's a very kind of like Hoboken-y, kind of like a lot of local pubs. Everybody's out and about.
That's probably where I've been.
It's a cool little area. But that's if we had to do St. Patty's Day here. But Jeff and I have both been over to the Emerald Isle a couple times, so we thought it'd be fun on this St. Patrick's Day to kind of outline if each of us were to become tour guides in Ireland, where would you be taking your tours?
You can go first.
Okay.
I'm curious to see what you're going to say because I had to think about this a little bit.
Yeah, and we've done it pretty similarly, honestly. I think the big difference was the pace in which you did yours, because we've both done the major cities and we've done kind of the small towns, countryside kind of feel. So if I were planning somebody's Ireland vacation, I would do exactly what I did my second time. I think I learned the lesson. We stayed about an hour outside of Dublin on the coast. Still on the train, so we could walk in the train, take it in and out of Dublin. We were a small coastal town. I can't remember what it's called for the life of me at the time. I can look it up while I'm talking. But the great part about that was we spent the whole first day and a half just in that town. So you're going to the little local Irish bars. You're talking to locals. Like the fish and chips I had there blew the Dublin fish and chips out of the water because some of the guys would know the boats.
Yeah, it's like real food.
Yeah, it's like, hey,
see the fish coming in.
Yeah, like they, and they were super friendly to us because I think, we were Americans in their little town, but we were asking them, like, what do you do? Where do you go? Do you mind if we sit here? Like, let us buy you a beer. We bought so many people beers just for intel. Yeah. We were like, somebody would tell us the best place to go, when to go there. Like, next round's on us. And, like, we made so many friends doing it that way. So I would definitely, like, base people out of a small town. Yeah. Meet the actual, like, Irish people. Then pop, be within reach of Dublin. Go in, do the Jameson tour. You got to do the Guinness tour. If you can catch a rugby game, I think that'd be phenomenal. They have a beautiful stadium in Ireland, so try to work something like that out. Have to make sure you do at least a day. I've never done two. I would like to do 2 days in Galway. I've always had to do it down and back. Okay. I like Galway better than Dublin.
Yeah, most do.
Yeah,
most people do.
It's a little more what you're expecting. And the ride from Dublin to Galway is beautiful because it's all countryside for about 2 hours before you pop into the Galway. I think the bars are more fun. They're a little bit more like intimate.
It's a quaint Irish town. What you kind of would probably picture when you think of Ireland.
Exactly. Yeah. So I would probably work in a Galway trip, and then you have to leave in and out of Dublin. So then it'd kind of be a choice if you want to do another day trip from Galway to Cork, or go back and do another activity in Dublin, have like a free day in Dublin. But I think that's kind of how I would try to lay it out.
Yeah. I like Dublin more than Galway, and that's an unpopular opinion. I just thought there was so much there to see that I liked about it. And I kind of like the big city feel. I thought it was different, especially for like a European city. Dublin was a lot of fun. There's a lot to see there. Trinity College, some of the cathedrals. It's close enough to the coast. You can walk through the Liffey. Is that the river that runs through there? You got the storehouse, the distillery. One of the things that I enjoyed most was we stayed in Dublin for like 3 or 4 days, and we took an 11-hour bus tour up to Belfast. It was like a brutal travel day, but 11 hours. And it takes you like 3 hours to get to Belfast.
Mm-hmm.
And then we were able to go to Giant's Causeway, which is like another 3 hours to the coast.
That's so interesting that we couldn't design more different tours. I would shoot myself on an 11-hour
Somebody
bus.
recommended it. A family member of mine recommended who had been over there. She's like, you got to do it. It's awesome. This tour service is really great. It was a long day. It was definitely the longest of our entire vacation.
Yeah.
We also got like the best weather day when we did that trip.
That's big.
It was insane. So honestly, like the cliffs obviously weren't better than the Cliffs of Moher because like that's hard to do.
Yeah.
But honestly, in my opinion, it was a better day. Like time spent there. It was technically in the UK at that point too, so you had to now pay with pounds.
Oh yeah.
Like we literally had like clam and like the food was like you said brought off from the boats like to the restaurant. It's like
such a difference.
Oh my god, the scenery was amazing. Like, we have pictures that I've taken and blown up and actually put on the wall. Like my mom got me for Christmas or my birthday one year, and it's like a day I'll never forget. So and then when we were in Belfast, we did the Black Taxi tour, which
never heard of it.
So it's a tour that takes you through the entire city of Belfast and shows you all the like sites of the troubles that happened.
Oh, okay.
And there's still like a wall up between the Protestants and the Catholic side. So there's a lot more like they're not as hostile as obviously they were back in the 90s, but there's still a lot of tension there. So it's really cool to see that history that you've heard so much about. So I definitely would do that. My most recent trip, I got to go to Dingle. Have you been to Dingle?
No.
We missed it the first time because we went to the Ring of Kerry and it poured rain. There was a hurricane that came up the east coast of the States and went across the Atlantic and dumped on us. I mean, there were whitecaps in the river. Like it was. They're like, there's 2 bad days in Ireland. These are one of the 2 days. Yeah. So we missed a lot that day. But when I went back, we got to go to Dingle, and that was like you said, the pub scene. You walk in and you're buying people beer.
Yeah, that was the most fun. I thought, because you felt like you were a part of it. You weren't. They didn't look over and go, oh yeah, this tourist goes, oh yeah, do you want to go and see your fucking?
That's what you don't get in Dublin. So that's why you got to go all over and try different cities. I like Dublin because I got to explore some of the small towns and I enjoy it. Kind of walk through the city. Yeah. That was really fun. Galway was amazing too, and Killarney was actually fun. Yeah, I stayed in the town of Killarney. I stayed in this like 5-star resort. It was insane. But the town itself was really cool because they do like the rotating bands that come up for the live music every hour and a half of change. So a new band comes on. So we found a couple pubs that did that, and we had a lot of friends that were there at the time. So it was really fun to like have people like continually like come into the pub when you're there, which is a really different experience being that far away from home.
Them in Ireland, not that they don't obviously don't love each other, but like Ireland and the UK, I think crush the bar scene. Like they have it figured out to such a better degree than we do here.
Sure.
And I'm not sure what about it, like how they did it, but it's just, there's this feeling of like, we ran into a couple guys who every Thursday for the last 20 years, they've come to that bar to get fish and chips and 4 Guinness. And that is like, it seems as though if they wanted to take a vacation, they'd be like, well, we can go Wednesday to Wednesday, but I got to get together with Gary on Thursdays.
Have you seen the Shane Gillis skit where he talks about like LA sucks? He's like, everyone goes to bed at 9 o'clock in LA. Yeah. He's like, give me a place like Dublin where it's shitty weather, nobody wants to go outside. They're just inside drinking. That's literally what Ireland
it is. Yeah. But there's something where like I don't know, there's just the bars aren't like, I think we've gone too far this way. Maybe the Jersey Shore is part of the problem. Like every bar now wants to be like a DJ, like party bar.
It's just an American thing.
I think it is.
You know, like it's not as everything's so fast paced in the States that I think that factors into even the pubs.
Probably. Because unless you find a real, that's why everybody here craves dive bars, and it's so frustrating that like,
it's true.
Now places are crafted to look like dive bars, but they're not. People want that, but you can't create it. Like some of those bars over there have been around for 200 years. It's just what they are. Yep. And I don't know, that would be my perfect way to spend it, would be over there, obviously. But I can't imagine how crazy that's got to be.
I also feel like it's tough too because really St. Paddy's Day is more of an American thing.
It kind of is.
I mean, there's so much fun times to go to Ireland. And I'm like, I don't know if I need to go there for then. Like, I would wait.
Think of the amount of Americans that fly over.
That's the problem.
It's mostly us.
It's too many tourists in a lot of those countries to begin with, and it's mostly us going for those dates. I would wait for the weather to warm up a little bit over there. I've never been in the summer. I was going in the fall.
Yeah, I've been there in September and November.
Yeah, so you're same camp as me.
It rains 3 out of the 5 days, and then the November one was cold as shit.
Yeah.
Like, it's cold and dreary. Again, it's exactly what Shane Gill said. It's cold and dreary,
There's nothing about
and you just want to sit in a dimly lit bar and get shit-faced. And, there's nothing wrong with that. But we do things a little differently here. So everything in America's got to be this big, showy pageantry, etc. And it's kind of trickled into everything to where now even on the men's side of weddings and serious events, you have to get. We were talking about this, like dudes have to get each other gifts for agreeing for just pretty much affirming that we're still friends. Like if you ask somebody to be in your wedding, they're already one of the 5 or 6 closest people to you in this world. We now have to get them a cooler or a tumbler or something that says, "Hey, thanks for still being my friend." Like it's kind of bullshit.
Yeah, it is. And I'll preface the conversation because I asked Brandon, who's getting married within the next year. I said, "Hey, have you thought about gifts to get your groomsmen?"
Yeah.
So that's where this conversation came from. And he's like, "I don't know," and I was like, "I agree. I think it's a crock of shit, but you got to get something."
You don't, but now you do, because some guy somewhere along the line crossed the line.
Yeah, seriously.
Like for eons, it was like, oh yeah, the women have their showers and do like all these big baskets and stuff. But like a couple guys are like, "Hey, you want to be part of my wedding?" Yeah, sure. And then one guy somewhere tried to be hip and trendy and got all of his bros like flasks, and then it became standard.
Yeah. Do you have any flasks from weddings?
Yes.
That's hilarious.
The first wedding I was in, I have a flask from. It was a great gift. I use it. It's my only flask.
Yeah. I didn't get any from weddings. I felt like it was a bit of a cliche.
It so is.
I got it though when I got engaged.
Okay.
I had people gave me like 4 flasks. I'm like, okay. And it's also like it doesn't work.
It's like, all her family. Hey buddy, you're gonna need this.
A lot of it was my family, but it just probably says something about my family. But a lot of it's like just engaged, like go to the ball game with like a just
bullshit. Yeah, just like a plain one.
Yeah, so I don't know.
It was funny. The first one I got, he's the best man in my wedding. I was a groomsman in his, but we've known each other since like I existed. And he's always been. His grandfather was cheap. His grandfather was my neighbor, cheap as fuck. His dad was cheap.
Yeah,
it's just a running joke, and like he's getting better now. But he used to be insanely cheap. When we used to go, his grandfather would take us out to breakfast, and you're familiar. There's a place called Tom Jones.
Yeah.
And you used to be able to get a whole breakfast for like $2.75, which is already a steal. And back then, I don't know if parents had money or whatever, but he would ask me, "Okay, you can have a water or a lemonade. What do you want?" And like, we were both kids. He's 4 years older than me. So he goes, "Lemonade, easy." He goes, "All right, let me get 3 waters and 6 lemons."
That is pretty bad.
And we each got 3 lemons each to squeeze into our water and a couple of Splenda packets, and that was lemonade.
There you go.
And so flash forward, that's just to set up why he is this way. So I'm all of his groomsmen. We all grew up on the same street for the most part, so we all knew the backstory. We've known of each other forever. So he got us these really nice flasks, and it also says they're black flasks, like matte black, but they're chrome on the inside. They say "Best Man," like kind of small. Like they're really. Yeah. We were surprised.
That's cool.
And he was like, "Yeah, one of my lawn customers has a cricket, so I cut her lawn for free for the month in exchange for the flasks." And his best man was like, "You motherfucker, you bartered for our gifts."
Yeah,
like that is in your blood that you can't pay sticker.
Yeah, that's hilarious. Hey, there's lots to be said about that, though.
There
gets to be a point.
Yeah, that's kind of like, dude,
you're a cheap son of a bitch.
Yeah, like for your wedding, you bartered for our gifts. You worked these off. But now that I'm in that position, I kind of respect it because I'm looking at, like we talked about, I was going to get a bunch of my guys like beach coolers or something. It's like, dude, I got 6 groomsmen. That's just like $200-$300 here. It's aren't you guys just my friends anyway?
Yeah.
I don't know. But I just think I don't know. I think it's bullshit. But
yeah,
I know. What did you get your groomsmen again?
I got them. So one of my friends may or may not be watching or watch this at a later date. Got me a duffel bag when I was at his wedding, and I used it a ton. I'm like, oh my god, that's like a really practical gift.
Yeah.
Right? It's not sexy. It's not like a flask. Or like,
No, but it's stuff guys would use.
I used it for like the gym or like if I was going out for the weekend. I used it all the time. So I'm like, I'm gonna get my guys duffel bags. So I got them like, and you can find them online. A lot of the sites are like gifts for groomsmen like stuff. So I was able to get like inexpensive-ish.
They don't have to be like Under Armour or anything. Yeah. You can get like, a little classy like.
Got fake leather. Pleather rather, but they're nice. Like I was like, damn, I wish I would have bought one for myself because it's something that I would use. So I did that. And then very similar to what your friend did here is I just got a glass, which was like $10 a pop that had their
I don't know if the crest will show. Yeah, it's too glary, but it has one of my one of my groomsmen got me rocks glasses. He like made like a crest for our new last name and all.
Yeah, they're nice though. And he got me 2 glasses. I gave everybody 1. I'm like, I should have got people 2 so they can enjoy it with somebody. But
this was for me being his best man. Everybody didn't get these.
So I put the glass inside the duffel bag, and the morning of the wedding, as everybody was getting ready, I was like, hey, come to my room when you're ready, and I handed them their bags.
Nice.
So
that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm going to figure out something along those lines. I think the whole thing is getting out of hand. Like, you have all these different events and we're drowning. I picked a very specific place in my dining room where you can't see, but we are drowning into consumer products at the moment.
That's how it goes. Especially like any DIY where you're trying to save a buck or two for the wedding. Yeah.
It is. I mean, it's somewhat nice to have, but like you'll come home after like a long day and, both my fiance and I work like minimum 10, sometimes her days are like 16 hours. So you come home and you're not exactly in a huge hurry to carry an air conditioner in. It's like, what the fuck? Yeah, exactly. And we rent right now, so eventually it'll be nice when we buy. But until then, it's just me schlepping air conditioners and printers up and down the stairs until
back and forth too. That's why it's like I'm just leaving this year. I'm gonna bring it right back down in a week or 2.
Yeah, and that's kind of where it's becoming. So I'm just like begging people, like, oh, what do you need? Just cash. For the sweet love of God, cash. This honeymoon's going to be a fortune.
Cash money. When are you going? Are you guys going in a couple months after you get married?
We're going to do what you did, actually. It's a really good idea. So we're going to do wedding, go back to work for a week. Well, she'll be off, but me go back for a week.
Right. Okay.
Get caught up from the time I just missed.
Yeah.
And then go away again. Because I'm not going to be able to have like a good time knowing I have 2 weeks waiting on me.
I know, but yeah.
So go back, get caught up from the wedding week, and then when I leave, at least I'm starting from 0 again. And then I think we're going to probably do like bookended weekends plus a Monday or something. So probably like 9 days.
Yeah, perfect. That's exactly what we did.
Yeah.
A buddy in my office gave me this tip. He got married like maybe a year before I did. He's like, dude, he came back to like 2,000 emails.
Yeah.
And he sits next to me. He was like in the office next to me. I would hear him pick up the phone and call his customer and be like, hey, sorry I missed you. I know it's been 2 weeks. I just got married. And I was like, oh my God, you just got married.
Yeah, they're immediately not mad at you.
No, tell people you were on your honeymoon. People will get it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, genius, that son of a bitch. So kind of milk it a little bit because you can only use that excuse once.
No. And I'm fortunate where I'm in the kind of situation where we don't have individual like funnels of clients. Like people are clients of the business.
Yep.
So one of my people calls while I'm gone. There's 3 other people that all have the file. They can all do it for me. So I might come home to, over the course of a week, maybe like 100 emails, not 2,000 or whatever the hell it was.
Yeah. Ours was ridiculous, the amount of fluff, but yeah.
Yeah. So it'll be good that way. It's
That's
just
awesome.
Fronting it is like I started outlining kind of what we're going to do. And we're going to get, we have a lot of people coming to the wedding. It's, we're going to make this back in spades, but fronting this thing is daunting.
Already, yeah, I know. So where are you guys going? Have you planned?
Yeah.
You going to Europe? You going to the beach?
We're doing, we're going to split the trip in half. We're going to do 4-ish days, depending on travel, because you know how you got to get different hub airlines and stuff. But 4-ish days in Italy, 4-ish days in the French Riviera.
That would be awesome.
So like Nice, Cannes. I want to go to Monaco and just look at, just walk around.
My cousin did that, and they just went to a casino, just like people watch.
That's all I want to do.
And they did it for like 5 or 6 hours one after.
Yeah.
They were in and out.
just put on like a button up and some nice pants, whatever, and blend in, but just sit there and just look at the wealth.
You're gonna have an awesome time. That's so sick. South of France sounds amazing.
Yeah, well, because Italy's gonna be like I live there. I've been there a bunch. Like that's almost like my second home. I know it. So she's never been to Europe.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
So as far as like touring European culture, museum, it's so much easier to do it in Italy because I can speak it enough. I know where everything is, and I know kind of how to maneuver it. Like, you hit the David in the afternoon while people are eating. Don't go at this thing. So we're going to do all that, all the running around there. And then once we get to the south of France, it's just going to be like an all-inclusive. Like just hit the beach, lay out, pop into, see some stuff in Cannes, see some stuff in Monaco, and just kind of, that's going to be our chill.
Yeah, that's smart. You guys do it that second, right? Italy first?
Depends on the flights. Because we got to fly into Rome or Paris and then take trains to either Nice or Florence.
Okay.
If you fly into Florence or Paris, I don't think you can fly into Nice. It's phenomenally expensive.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So,
that's a good point. Paris would work, right? You take a train down, but that's just more travel time and you're already exhausted.
They're both trains, no matter how we slice it.
Yeah.
It's Rome, train to Florence for sure.
Would you want to stay in Rome for a day or two?
It depends. So if we're flying home, then we would get to Rome the night before.
Okay.
And then fly out the next day. If we're flying into Rome, we probably leave immediately and head straight to Florence.
So she has no interest in like the Colosseum or stuff. Because Shannon didn't, I'll be honest with you.
Yeah,
I loved it, but
we might. It's just I have a love-hate with Rome. I think if I only have 4 days in Italy and I have somebody who's never been to Europe, I think Rome is very like international. Like it's very Italian.
Yeah, no, I would agree with that.
So if I only have 4 days for somebody to get the feel of this country, I don't think you get it in Rome.
There was so much that I had to see there, like the Forum, the Cathedral.
Yeah,
like that stuff I didn't want to miss.
Yeah,
I had 9 days, so again,
that's the difference at the time. Like I've seen the Forum. I've seen the Vatican wouldn't mean a whole lot to her, even her Judaism.
It's still
cool to see.
I mean, the history of the age, she would enjoy it regardless.
Yeah. So if we fly home from Rome, we get there probably the morning before, and then spend the day running around and seeing stuff. But it just depends on whatever the flights are cheapest.
Yeah.
Whoever flies the closest thing to direct, because no one goes direct to Philly. They just don't. They go direct to Newark. But
that sucks. I know. We flew out of Newark.
Yeah, I've done this return leg enough where you are just absolutely whipped.
Yeah.
So we're not going to have a 2-hour car ride in us. Like the last time I flew back from there, we flew from Rome 10 hours to Detroit, and Detroit 2 hours to Philly, and I fell asleep in the Detroit airport.
Yeah, I say you just sleep. Yeah.
But that tells you all you need to know about how tired you are.
Yeah, you're exhausted. There's no way
to fall asleep in like the Detroit airport.
Well, I was just talking to my brother who flies every week for work, and I was asking him currently with how airports are. I'm like, did you get delayed at all this week flying out? He's like, no, it's good.
And he probably has pre, I would think, right?
Yeah, but he said they shut down some of them, so it's like you're just like a normal person at that point.
Damn.
Okay. And he was telling me a story about a year ago where a situation that happened where he was flying out, he had a connection, it was like an hour and a half. His flight leaving like Milwaukee got delayed to Chicago, and then he missed his flight in Chicago. And they're like, yeah, the next flight is at like 7 o'clock the next morning.
Yeah.
It's 6 o'clock that night.
Oh.
So he had to sleep in the airport for like 13 hours.
Jesus.
And he said the restaurants and everything closes at like 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, that sounds terrible.
Yeah, so there's no way to kill time. You can't just sit at the bar and get ripped until you pass out.
That's what he said. He said that would have been my goal, but he's like, all that stuff closed. And he's like,
8 o'clock is insanely early.
He said it was like 8, 9 o'clock. And I was
That's
like,
crazy.
I'm like, did they kick people out?
Yeah.
They don't want people sleeping in the airport. It's like, they didn't say shit to me. So
I don't think they can, because
that's
otherwise,
what he said.
I mean, for a while there was a law that they had to put you up. I think they did away with that.
They said if it's weather related, they don't have to. Because he went in line and bitched just like there were 100 people behind him, and they all got screwed over. So.
Yeah, they're supposed to. If I don't know about the weather, they said they're supposed to put you up in like that airport Marriott that they all have.
So that was booked, and I think so the weather is like their loophole for that. Because I'm like, isn't that the only reason they should be able to put you up for like stuff that's out of your hands?
Yeah, well, it's not my fault.
If you get delayed, I'm like, sorry, you should have left earlier. Like, not my fault. Your flight got like.
Yeah,
like that is like. I don't know.
That's different.
He said weather is their exception that they do not have to.
No, but they can always make it weather. Whatever. That's stupid.
That's the loophole.
Yeah.
That's how they save a shitload of money.
You hear that, airlines? We've had it with you.
It's crazy. But to sleep at an airport is crazy for 12 hours.
I've never done it overnight. The longest, my brother lives in Wyoming. I was delayed in, actually, it was Chicago. I was delayed in Chicago for 14 hours. But we left the same day. So, like, it was whatever. We left, like, early in the morning, and then I slept till probably, like, off and on until, like, 10 p.m., and then we flew out. I've never done, like, got to the airport on the 23rd, woke up in the airport on the 24th.
Yeah, he had to do that.
That's
He's been doing it for 5 years, and that was the only time he had to do that.
Yeah, because if you've been to an airport, like they don't want you sleeping there, so they put those handrails on all the chairs, so you can't even like sprawl out or anything.
Well, that was what I asked him. I'm like, people like come around and we're like, hey, dude, like,
you want a pillow or something?
We don't. Yeah, I was like, were there a lot of people sitting there? It's like less than you think.
Less than you think. I would want more.
Yeah, that's what I said. I'm like, you would have been more comfortable, but
yeah, I don't want to be just. That's one of those buildings where if I feel like I'm close to alone, I'm not sleeping.
He said he found a place, and I'm like, he's like, I didn't sleep a week. So
I wouldn't either. Yeah, an empty airport. Yeah, I need somebody sleeping within that same. Like if I'm in D13, I need at least one other person sleeping in D13.
Exactly.
Or I'm going to go where they are.
Exactly. Yeah, it's got to be kind of eerie, but
I don't know.
Shout out to him.
Oh, knock on wood, it doesn't happen to me.
It won't.
But we cruised past the 30-minute mark, and I think we're both pretty close to out of Guinness and out of whiskey. So that seems to be the end of the road here for this episode of the Whiskey Gingers podcast. Chris will join as able, but for a little while it'll be myself and Jeff, or myself, Jeff, and Ryan, or however else we can rope into this thing. But I can commit to at least one a month at this rate, so we will keep putting these out. But until such a time, I'm Brandon. That's Jeff. We're the Whiskey Gingers today. We'll see you later.